Hi, Tom. This is Larry
And I'm Kay.
Ward. Uh, we're old, and so you'll understand as this video goes on that we're obviously old. And it has been 50 years since we first met you two young pups at Second Baptist. One of the hilarious things to me that happened at Second Baptist was that Brad Rice, a mutual friend who we love and miss, had the class, and he was talking about a cause for donation. And he said, I wish we had Kimmons Wilson's money here. And then went on with the rest of his spiel. Brad did not realize that Spence and Becky Wilson were sitting on the front row with us. And I don't know that he ever quite recovered from that when he found out about it. I guess the rest of what I want to say to you is we love you, wish we could be with you. We are there in prayer and support, and you know how much we care about you, buddy. Take care.
Love you.
Remember almost 50 years of friendship with you, Tom. My family and I have benefited from your professional advice as attorney, sharing details and bios of persons running for political office, participating in marches and demonstrations for immigrants and civil and women's rights, as well as LGBT rights. Your communication gifts with cards, emails, and phone calls during times of illness and grief have brought comfort to our hearts. I've benefited from these skills through your outreach at church to Muslims and internationals, tutoring and welcoming the stranger. Your generosity in providing discount tickets to Redbirds games made them affordable and fun. 2 years ago, when Billy died, you provided immeasurable support, sending fruit, hosting Joe, our friend who came from Beijing, and taking photos of our whole family. You have lived a life of purpose, dear Tom, bringing about God's kingdom on earth. Your love of God and God's children has thankfully included me and my family. Blessings and peace, Tom.
Hi, Tom. Walter and I hope you're in the middle of a very happy Father's Day, surrounded by your loving family. We send you our love and warm wishes and want to tell you how much you mean to all of us at Shady Grove. Your emails and cards, your organizing game nights and trips to ball games, and most of all, the example of your life. Take care, good friend.
Here. Tom, when I first met you, just within a very short time, I realized that you were one of the good guys. You know, I think one of the biggest struggles, or the central struggle that we humans have, is in overcoming our narcissism so that we can become the hands and feet to do God's work here on earth. And certainly one of my central struggles. I think you do that as well as anyone that I have ever known. And I appreciate not only what you do, but I appreciate the role model that you are for me and the inspiration in my strivings in that direction. Hope to see you soon, Tom.
Tom, you have been quite a dear friend. You basically helped save my life. You threw out a life preserver when I needed it the most. As soon as I contacted you about Mike's death, you were there and you never once left. From the very beginning when we had the St. Jude walk and you showed up there, walked by yourself, didn't even know me very well, but you did it because that is you. You have that pure heart who feels for others, who wants to do for others. And I'll never forget that. I still have the medal you gave me. Since I didn't walk it, I wouldn't have had a medal, but you gave me yours. And I have it with all of Mike's stuff. All the emails, all the talks have helped me get through this and deal with this. And I know, you've gotten help from it too. Your emails, your writings, I have absolutely loved, and I probably have, 40, 50 emails that I have saved from you. Some very serious emails that have touched my heart, and some quite hilarious emails. You are very good at telling a story. And I actually have a couple that I want to remind you of. And this one was in September of 2018. And it says, at noon today, I did my approximately weekly kayaking adventure at Hyde Lake, Shelby Farms. The high winds rendered the normally glassy pond a rocky white-capped sea. Rowing against the gale was a test of my rippling biceps, which I have modestly cropped from the photo. I stopped furiously paddling only long enough to take this snapshot of the intrepid seaman at rest. Thanks to the wind, we have here my graying imitation of Christopher Walken in Balls of Fury. I know you don't go to the movies, but if you Google for an image of Walken in that movie, you'll see that I nailed him. And this was hilarious. You sent me the picture, and I could just imagine you like rowing in the lake. This next one says, this was November 2018, and it says, here I am after my church's 5K race for grace this morning, with all the proceeds going to the adopted school Shady Grove Elementary. Last year's race raised $5,000 for the school, and I'm guessing we'll meet or exceed that number this year. I placed third in my age category, basically the still ambulatory ancients, thus the medal which I may wear to work, and on a number of other occasions, going to the grocery store, etc., for a while, and then I'll add it to my trophy case. Well, not exactly a case, more like a coat hanger in my closet. I finished the 3.2 miles in just over 45 minutes. I would have made it in 43 if I hadn't accidentally kicked over 8 Marsha Blackburn yard signs along the route. Accidents happen. And I could see you just kicking some of those signs. So just your words, your spirit, you are one of the kindest, most thoughtful people I have ever met in my life. You have done so much for me. And our friendship has just been amazing, and it still continues to be. And you're still there for me. And I appreciate it so much. And I love you, Tom. You will always make me smile.
It says, how has my life been impacted by you? It would be so hard to summarize. You have been part of my life for well over 30 years. I served with you on the deacon board at Prescott. You've been a leader for all time. And to me, you're very much church. You've kept me in touch with everybody through your emails and your cards. It's hard to say what the perfect memory is of you. Just your being, I think, is there. Happy Father's Day, and enjoy your new little one. It's so great to have another girl in the family.
Hi, Tom. One of the best things that's happened to Shady Grove since I joined in 1965 is combining with Prescott. We have met so many wonderful people, wonderful Christians, and having you as one of the leaders has been a great treat for us. I have enjoyed every minute of being part of your Sunday school class, where we get to share our thoughts and concerns and get to know each other so much better. It's been fun to be part of your play group on Wednesday, and you have been an outstanding leader for the Nurture Committee. I cannot think of anyone who could have done more work, and how you find time to do all that, I will never understand. Hope you don't mind that one of my memories is how much fun we had teasing you about finding a turkey for our Thanksgiving dinner. You are so much a part of our family here at Shady Grove, and as a family, we will be supporting you through the next months and years, along with Kyle and Meredith and Moxie. Much love from all of us, and many prayers that you will feel the presence of the Lord.
Hey, Tom. Will Christians here. My first memory and impression of you came immediately upon my arrival in Memphis about 3.5 years ago, when you left on my desk at the church this binder, a binder which, in your words, will hasten my familiarity with the members at Shady Grove. It's compiled by you pictures and information of all of Shady Grove members. And I thought, wow, this and this man is extremely helpful. The next thing was when you and some others asked me to write a letter expressing our love and support for the Muslim community in Memphis. And I thought, man, this guy is really thoughtful. And then after I wrote that letter, I sent it back to you for you to see it, and to hear your opinion. And what you sent back to me was a heavily edited version. And I thought to myself, what am I getting myself into? But I quickly learned to appreciate and love your advice, your edits, your beautiful craftsmanship of language, your passion, and above all else, your deep faith and sincerity. And I thank God for the touch of your life upon mine and the life of my family. Thank you, Tom.
Hi, Tom. I guess I would have to say that my favorite memory of you is the very first time that we met, which was in an adult Sunday school class upstairs at Prescott. And I remember having the distinct impression, who is this guy? And the reason why I had that impression is that I had never met anyone so sincere, so passionate, so positive and optimistic, and yet at the same time who was not naively that way. A person who had a critical sense, was well aware of the negatives and so on that are out there in life. I've always tended to be more toward the dour and negative-oriented, pessimistic, I guess. So one of the ways that you have impacted my life is by that constant example of optimism, positive, and particularly in the last couple of weeks, I must say, with your confidence and your contentment in life. I admire that very, very much, and I see you very much as a role model in that regard. I wish for you, it's like trying to figure out what to wish for the man who has everything. And so my wish is simply more of the same, that you have continued strength, continued positiveness, continued confidence. To close, I'll simply say that when I think of you, I think in particularly of the hymn "When Peace Like a River," and that chorus line, "It is well with my soul," and I appreciate very much that example.
Hi, Tom. I can't tell you how glad I am that our paths have crossed in this life. To me, you are a role model a kindred spirit, and a good friend. And you are unique in so many ways. As a role model to me, you are thoughtful, you are caring, you are empathetic, you're well-meaning, you're self-reflective, you have a great self-deprecating sense of humor, which I've read as a sign of a high emotional IQ. You are an adept writer, and you word yourself in a way that keeps the interest of the reader, which means that you put a lot of thought into it, and I appreciate that. And you have a great intellectual curiosity about so many things, including religion, which has enlightened my life in Sunday school classes and other conversations that we've had. As a kindred spirit, I think that because we're both attorneys, sometimes attorneys think about things in a different way than other people. And a lot of times I feel misunderstood, but I always could count on you to understand me and get me. And I never felt judged by you in any way. And I appreciate that understanding. As a friend, I will never forget that the night that I dropped Will off at UMass, I'd driven up there 3 days and you knew I was going. And that night I had dropped him in his room and I was alone in the hotel room without anyone there with me. And I got a phone call and it was you checking on me. And that meant so much to me, that you remembered that that was the night that I was going to drop him and be alone. And you just wanted to call and check on me and take my mind off things and talk for a little while. And it was such a caring gesture. A funny memory I have is when we went on that Wolf River kayaking canoe trip. It was my first time to kayak by myself, and I think it was one of your first times to canoe, and you and Rodney were in the canoe, and y'all went around a turn, and Rodney fell out of the boat, and he was supposed to be the captain, and you were left alone floating along until he could climb back in that boat. And it was just such a fun day with a lot of laughs, and I'll always think about that day. It was a lot of fun. One thing I appreciate about you, and so many people appreciate about you, is that you truly put your ideals into action. And it makes me think of a quote that I first heard from Gene Wilder in Willy Wonka, but I think it goes back to The Merchant of Venice. But it describes the things that you do. So shines a good deed in a weary world. And I want to thank you.
Hi, Tom. This is Mary Lou, and I'm coming to you from Frankfort, Michigan. I'm sitting on my deck at my cottage, and I get to overlook this beautiful lake, Crystal Lake. And it's cool today, and it's calm, and there's a little bit of a breeze. I just heard some songbirds, but I don't know if you can hear them because I'm talking. There we go. There we go. It's delightful here, and I just wish I could bottle it all up and send it to you. But I do, I may be far away, Tom, but I'm keeping you close in my thoughts and prayers. And I wish for you continued good days, and I know you'll have a lot of them. And I want you to have a terrific Father's Day, and take care.
Tom, I want you to know that you are the best thing that has happened to our congregation in years. You never miss a chance to give, and when you do, you give 200%. You are so loved. Have a happy Father's Day and a Grandfather's Day.
Hi, Tom. It's Kim and Eric from our condo in the sky, or as you refer to us,
as two of the four most trivial members of Shady Grove Presbyterian Church.
We wanted to take a second and tell you how much you've meant to us and how we have valued your friendship. I remember being surprised at your kind of sort of little bit on the dirty side sense of humor playing games at our house. And I have to tell you that I have never in my entire life met anyone that was such a true testament to Christ and a true follower of Christ. And I will always remember that of you, your generosity and your spirit and your thoughtfulness and your kindness. And I just feel so blessed to have met you.
And Tom, I really appreciate your understated wit. Your Samuel Clemens would be proud. Your hosting of Shady Grove at the Redbirds game was such a treat, and so many fond memories of you coming to our house to play games and giving a birthday gift to someone you never met before because you knew she had a birthday on that same day. Just wonderful. And cheers to you.
We love you. You are so dear to us. We are praying for you, and we want you to have a very easy time of it. And we're looking forward to more times together. Love you, Tom.
Hi, Tom. I'm so grateful for this opportunity to tell you what a wonderful person I think you are and how much I love you. You're always an inspiration to me. I've always thought you were the perfect person to lead the nurture team because you nurture so many people in so many ways. I thank you for, I love that you've always shown up for every good cause, documenting many of the good causes that you and many others have shown up for, and that I've shown up for a few, and I'm glad for that. I really, really thank you for, also, I love your love of baseball and a good game of trivia. I love thinking about you sitting on the pew behind me and Sonny, and I hope that we're all there together again soon. Tom Walsh, I just want to thank you for being you and say I love you.
Oh, I don't have a technical bone in my body. I just thought I recorded this whole thing and I was ending it, and that's when it started. Oh, goodness. Happy Father's Day, Tom. This is such a wonderful way to celebrate, and I appreciate so much being a part of this gift to you. There's so many ways that you have impacted my life, and have inspired me as well. I tried to organize my thoughts a little bit because there are so many thoughts there. I first met you at the Yale Club of Memphis, and your presence always meant so much. You were there and you supported everything that happened. You were there for the events that we had. You were there and took up leadership with the Yale Book Award and the Yale College interviews and the college fair. I'll never forget the college fair. Yale had sent all kinds of materials, but you made a point of making extra materials, to writing things up that would really relate to the students that were in this area. I'm going to try closing out some emails and things to see if this will pick up a little bit better. What really impressed me, well, before I get there, I just want to say how disappointed I was when I moved back and discovered that you weren't the one sending out the communications anymore, and that you weren't in charge of so many of these areas, that you weren't providing that kind of leadership. And I've missed it because I was looking forward to it. Going back to relating to the students, I just was so inspired at how you always took such a deep interest in every single student that you talked to, and that you kept up with so many of the students and encouraged them as they continued on into college, and even welcomed them and remembered them and knew them personally if they moved back to Memphis. I've also felt that same encouragement in my life. You encouraged me in the ministry and preaching. You made it possible for me to come and to preach at Prescott Memorial, which was another blessing. The wonderful, loving people there who were willing to work for good for all, was another great gift. You encouraged me in practicing law when I went back and did some of that. You have inspired me that you not only profess to have faith, you live out your faith. You don't profess to have all the answers or that the world is simply, something we can just check off or write down in a list and know that we have it all together. But what you have done is you have lived in the way that Jesus called us to live. You have lived in a way that has loved others. You have lived in a way that values each person. Every single person is a treasure in your eyes, and I love that. And another thing that inspires me about you is that you have done whatever you could to help anybody that needed something. You have worked to bring together diverse groups in Memphis, and I'm sure even beyond that, both faith groups and other kinds of groups, that you have tried to work to find that common ground between them. And you have worked to care for the world that we live in and have inspired others as well to seek to be good stewards of this earth. We were also asked to share a favorite memory, and I think you may be surprised at the one that I chose, but it really is a favorite. It was the year that John Kerry, well, not just a year, but when John Kerry was running for president. And I don't remember if we rode down there together or if we just saw each other when we got down there, which I think is what happened. But we went down to hear John Kerry's campaign speech, and you knew both candidates personally in college, and you shared with me what they were like, and you helped me to think through a lot of political things and find someone who fit in what I believe was the best. And you still have such an interest in our political environment and wanting the best for our country and truly for the world. And that is an inspiration, and I know it has impacted everyone's life. As I said before, being a part of this is a gift. Of course, I also think your family has a secret agenda of getting you onto Facebook so that you could see more of these kind of pictures and things like that of all your friends that are there. I want you to know as you go through the days ahead and tackle whatever may come, whether it's feeling weaker or stronger or just anything that may come, we don't know. But I'm here for you. You have my support. You have my prayers. And after a week of not having a telephone, I believe I have it now. So you can call when you need to. And I just pray that God will bless you as you have blessed so many others. Thank you.
This is Ned.
And Sandra. Hi, Tom. Happy Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day. We want to wish you and your family, Meredith, Courtney, and the grandbaby well. I think with this situation, we can forget our Thursday breakfasts for, I don't know if we're going to ever have those Thursday breakfasts.
I hope so, because I love those blueberry muffins.
We miss seeing you. We're glad to see you on the Zoom get-togethers. And like I said, we want to wish you a happy Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day. We'll be thinking about you and praying for you.
Hi, Tom. I just wanted to wish you a happy Father's Day. I hope you're having a great day surrounded by family. So, Tom, as everyone that I talked to about you knows you as Tom, the person I want to clone. So, I just want you to know that you inspire me daily with your thoughtfulness, your compassion, your passion. Um, really never met anyone quite like you. So, thinking recently about a conversation that we had some time back. It was in the midst of the immigration crisis, and um, anyway, we were just having a conversation, and you said, I wonder if I would have helped Anne Frank. And I thought, not only would you have helped Anne Frank, you would have designed an underground railroad system for them. So you are one of a kind. You are so deeply loved by all of us. And um, just want to thank you just for being you and for being in our lives. You are such an inspiration. And when I grow up, I want to be like you. We love you.
Tom, this is Ned Smith again. Sandra went into the other room. There was a little postscript that I'm doing now. Just wanted to make an observation. I got a haircut today. It's been many, many weeks. But at any rate, we want to wish you well and just to make an observation. As I said, we're praying and thinking of you. Happy Father's Day.
Hey, Tom. Wishing you a happy Father's Day. You certainly deserve it. You're one of the best dads I've ever met. It's been such a privilege and still is a privilege for me to know you and to admire you and all the good things you've done for Prescott and for Shady Grove, as well as for people outside the church, I'm sure. You've certainly been a blessing to many, many, many people and continue to be. And I can only hope that one day I can be as well loved and as well thought of as you are. You've certainly been a great inspiration to my life, and I love you and appreciate you and respect you more than mere words can express. So take care of yourself and continue to be the terrific guy that you are. And look forward to seeing you face to face again someday soon. Take care.
Hi, Tom. Please welcome my wife, Shelley.
Hi, Tom. I want you to know that your immense kindness, caring, fun-loving, and compassionate spirit are just a few things that make you so special. From game nights and baseball outings, supportive and celebratory cards and calls and emails, sharing the many joys and proud moments of our children, your heartfelt prayers lifting up joys and concerns, our laughter and song during choir. You fill each of these and so much more with love and care, and I am immensely grateful for you. And now, a word from my loving husband, Kevin.
Tom, I have noted with admiration the way that you engage people and situations with kindness, gentleness, optimism, acceptance, curiosity, and pragmatism, but mostly and always with love. You are equally in your element as a teacher and a learner. And I am proud and honored to call you friend.
Happy Father's Day, Tom. We love you.
Hi, Tom.
I remember joining Prescott in 2000 and meeting you and thinking how conservative you looked. I was wary, but Gloria said you were much more than a starched shirt. She and I spent many hours on the phone late at night, and she raved about you. Sorry I misjudged. Your wit and caring showed me a true Christian, wielding the Bible like a balm instead of a cudgel. You've always shown me what is most important, how we treat the least of these. Even your offspring show how special you are in the way they live their lives and the people they've chosen to share them with. I'm wiser for knowing you. I'm so thankful that we at Shady Grove have you to demonstrate Christ's inclusive love for all. I hope you feel the love that is supporting you. God bless.
Hey, Tom, Noe family here. Just wanted to say hello and tell you how much we love you and how much we are glad to have gotten to know you. I wish we were at a baseball game right now, actually. The weather's quite nice. I would love to be downtown at a baseball game with you right now. We love hanging out at the trivia nights. Always glad to see you Sunday mornings at church. And just really kind of glad to get to be around you and soak up the positive vibe that you put out to pretty much everybody in the world. We really appreciate that. And I know everybody else does too. The world would be a lot better place if there were a whole bunch of clones of you walking around. I can tell you that. Love you, Tom. See you soon.
Love you.
This is Bill.
And this is Samuel.
Coming
to you from quarantine.
Let's get rid of these things. Yeah. Okay, so anyway, we're here to talk about Tom.
Yeah. It's a real great man.
One of the kindest individuals I've ever known.
And one of the probably one of the most heartwarming individuals I've having recently met. I've not gone to Shady Grove as long as Bill has, but ever since my time there, I've come to know a lot of people, including Tom, very, very well.
Mm-hmm. And of course, I knew Tom even before Shady Grove at Prescott, and it's been a great pleasure all these years to know Tom and to count him among my friends.
As well as mine.
And we're hoping that that this next few challenging months for him will go well, and hope he'll respond well to whatever the doctors have in store for him.
He's in our thoughts, in our prayers,
mm-hmm.
in our hearts.
All of those things.
Yes.
And I know, were it not for Tom, I don't know. My life would be very different. I can thank him for helping me get my current automobile and all of the even the job I got now is I couldn't have gotten that job without my current automobile. So indirectly. He helped with that too, and there's just been a lot of things that Tom has contributed to the many people's lives, and I think that's what it's all about. Is
it is contribution.
We contribute to each other. We give and share with each other and make each other's lives richer in the process. And Tom is certainly one who has enriched a great many people's lives.
Yes, he has. Yes, he has.
We're very grateful for that.
Yes, we are very grateful. Grateful is the best way to be.
Mm-hmm.
And we are very thankful for him, everything he's done.
Yes.
And we pray for his recovery. We pray for his healing.
Mm-hmm.
And we send blessings to him and his family.
Yeah, I hope this tribute thing goes well. It's certainly a different sort of thing.
Yeah.
But I guess this coronavirus has changed our lives in many ways, and the whole video conferencing thing. That technology is undoubtedly going to now progress a lot more faster than it otherwise would have. Yeah. But in any event, it's a great opportunity to create a little something to as a tribute, to just be to be here for, and Tom certainly deserves much tribute.
Yes, he does.
And we are grateful.
Mm-hmm. We
and
are.
I guess we've rambled on enough now.
Yeah.
So, thanks, Tom, and hope you have a great Father's Day Sunday, and look forward to the day I can see you again in person rather than through videos.
Yeah.
So we will catch you later.
Hello, I am Mary Dean, and my husband Kenneth Dean and I were in Prescott from 1976 to 81, where he was pastor of the church there. And I can say that Tom's impact on me has been in every possible way a good way. As a church leader, as a friend, as attention to our children, as support for the many difficulties that Ken was going through with the civil rights movement. It has all been a very wonderful impact, not to mention his leadership in the church, because that was profound. My favorite memory of Tom is probably coincidental with my favorite memory of the church, is that it was the best church we were ever in. And Tom was a key part of that. It's the kindest church we've ever been, and Tom was probably the kindest person there. I want to think of, when I think of the love of Prescott and how they express their love, I think of Tom and how Tom shared the love of Christ with all of us in so many, many, many different ways. So that's my thought about Tom. Sorry, my cat is in the way. So there he is. That's Coco. He's not going to leave himself out for sure. But Tom is one of the best Christians I've ever met. And I'm so glad that we had the honor to know him for many years and to be a part of his wonderful life and his wonderful family with Jean and with Courtney and Meredith. Best wishes, Tom. I'm pulling for you in every way.
Hi, Tom Walsh. Happy Father's Day. Geez, you are such a big part of our church. And like I've said to you in some notes at different times, you are such a good person. Really, really love you, Tom Walsh. Happy Father's Day.
Hi, Tom. Amy Dose here, formerly Amy Wooldridge. And I love this project. And I like the prompts your girls sent. The first one is about how my life was impacted by you. And I have to say, I spent some time thinking about this. I had a really hard time separating the influence of you from the influence of your family and also of our Prescott family overall. I think the lessons that I learned in that space greatly impacted the way that I am in the world, the way I perceive the world, and the way I'm active in the world. And I think that in this day and age particularly, it's about coming from a loving place, standing up for the little guy, and we need more of that. And I really value that gift from you, from your family, and from my Prescott family overall. Let's see. And then the other prompt was about a memory that I share, or that I have, particularly of you. And I have a memory of Vacation Bible School. I think it was Vacation Bible School, but I remember you being there playing a song, I think that you wrote, called God is Love. It's really a short little tune, but it still pops into my head sometimes, and it's a comforting little tune. So I'd like to send you guys all love and know I'm thinking about you, and the influence and impact that you, your immediate family, and my Prescott family had a very large and powerful and important impact on my life. So thank you for that. Take care.
Hi, Tom. Wow, what to say? When we came to Prescott, I think I was maybe 11 or 12 years old, so pretty important and influential age for me. And you were part of the reason that me and I think my whole family really just felt like we were welcomed at Prescott, and we really felt like we fit in, and fitting in was really important to me, especially at that time. So you were definitely an important person in making that happen for me. And then, of course, all the youth trips were so special and made a really big impact on my life and the things I've chosen to do going forward in my life. I believe you also sent a care package to me when I first went away to college, and that was really special. And even though I was very excited to leave home and go out and explore, it was really nice to have that tie of somebody thinking of me back home. And you have sent me cards throughout the years, and you've just really felt like a part of my family. So I love you, and well wishes to you. Thank you so much for everything that you've done.
Hi, Tom.
Hi, Tom.
Ben Scott here with my wife, Allison, and my son, Price. I don't believe you've met Allison before. We've been married for 10 years now and together for 13. So it has been a long time, but I don't think you've had the pleasure. And we just spent a day in the park.
At the frog pond.
That's right, catching frogs. And we just wanted to send you a video message, sending you well wishes, and say we sure do miss seeing your face. And we had many good times with you at Prescott. And being out here in the park, I think back of all the outings that we had with the youth group, and what a nice time it was. So I wanted to let you see our faces and give you an update and let you know that we're thinking about you. We love you.
Hi, Tom. It's Lee Chumbly, R. Lee. I just wanted to wish you the best of luck and let you know that my favorite memory, one of the many few, is Sunday Jack Purtles and you acting like a chicken. And I'll try to do my best Tom Walsh impression, but all right, here you go. Buck, 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 buck. Love you very much, and we miss you and hope to see you very soon. Take care.
Hey, Tom. Happy Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day.
We love you.
Love you. Miss you. Get well.
Happy Father's Day, Tom. Courtney and Meredith asked us to make videos sharing some of our memories of you. And having been about Courtney's age, I have so many. You were always there at church when we were on the playground, in our classrooms, on our youth trips. And you were even there during my school years. You gave us a class on how to write an editorial in 7th grade. You gave us a talk to our honors club, and you took me to Red Lobster for my Yale interview for college. I think, like so many other people, you're like a second father for us. And I will always remember that, and it will always carry me through in my life and in my profession. So thank you so much, and have a wonderful Father's Day.
Hi, Mr. Walsh. Happy Father's Day. What a wonderful gift that your daughters have been putting together for you. I wanted to share a memory that I have of you. When Stan, my husband, and I were still dating, we were in Memphis for some reason, and we went to I think it was a Wolf Camera on Poplar, and you were there, coincidentally. We walked in, and you were there picking up some photos, and we just chatted, and I think that was the first time that I that you met Stan and Stan met you. You were picking up some photographs, some lovely photographs, and you brought over a photo. You mentioned Meredith. Meredith, I think, was probably in Thailand at the time, and you mentioned her, and then you came back a little bit later with a photograph of her with an elephant and showed it to Stan and said, "This is my daughter Meredith," and it was so sweet because it was clear how proud you were of her and of your daughters. And so, Stan didn't meet Meredith for a long time after that, I think, and then whenever something came up, maybe with church or something, and I mentioned you or Meredith or the Walsh family, I would say, "Oh, remember the guy that we saw with the photograph with the woman with the elephant? That's Mr. Walsh." So I just think that this is such an appropriate Father's Day gift to you because you've been, for a lot of our younger generation at the church, you've been a father figure for many of us, and just a great role model with being so calm and patient with us all, and being a great communicator. As I grew older, I think I really started to appreciate the cards that you would write and the emails that you would share that shared your love of history and also keeping us abreast of current and historical events. And then just being a person to keep people tied together even though we're distant. So I just wanted to say Happy Father's Day, and I hope that you have a lovely time together with your family.
Hi, Tom. Susan here. I just want you to know how much you are adored by my family and me. I'm so grateful to know you and to have had you in my life all these years since I came to Prescott. You've been one of Ross and Adam's biggest cheerleaders. You played catch with them at the Redbirds games. You attended events when they were both in band, encouraging them all along the way, all the time they were growing up. You sent them care packages when they were in college. And to this day, you always ask about them anytime we talk. I just love you for that. I'm so thankful for all the cards and phone calls and friendship over the years. You've been so encouraging to my mom as her health has been challenging. I could go on and on about all the wonderful things about you. I just want you to know that you are loved.
Hi, Tom. Happy Father's Day. You and I both know the joy of having children that grow up to be actual grown-ups, where our kids make their own way in the world, being successful and happy. And then they get to have their own kids, and we get to experience grandparenthood. Only this time, we get to sleep all night, most of the time, and enjoy a good cup of coffee in the morning. It's wonderful having grandkids, isn't it? Now, this next scenario is only just for you because I've only been a grandparent for 6 years. So then those grandkids go on, actually graduate and start making a place for themselves in the world and get to experience all kinds of wonderful things. And we get to witness that. You get to witness that. I'll be 82 when it happens to me. I just want to thank you for all the wonderful memories I have of Prescott. I know you were a big part of all of that. I do remember the first time we ever went to Prescott was on a pre-Christmas Sunday morning, and we went in the front door as visitors do. We didn't know any better to go in the back door, and we were greeted with all kinds of wonderful greetings from all of the wonderful Prescott people that were there to receive visitors. And the minute they saw our kids, they grabbed them and whisked them away, with our quick permission, of course, and said, "We need to use your kids." So we said, "Okay." And the next time we saw Abby and Ben,
You had turned those kids into angels in just a minute. And they were singing in the Christmas choir. And guess what? They've been angels ever since. Thank you so much for all the wonderful influences you have made for so many people in the world, especially for me. I have admired you from afar and have received some counsel from you, and I really appreciate all that you've done for me. You always think about the heart of all people when you give advice. Happy Father's Day, Tom. We love you up here in Portland, Oregon.
Hello, Tom.
Hi, Tom.
This is Larry
And Sandy.
Turner. And we wanted to spend just a few moments talking to you today. We pray for you each day.
By name, at the throne of grace.
That's right. And thinking back over the years that I've had the privilege of knowing you, I consider you one of the most influential men in my life. You taught me what peace was. You taught me about how to care for someone. And most of all, you taught me the humility of giving and expecting nothing in return. I love you, Tom. I pray for you every day. And God bless you.
We love you, girls. We loved your sweet Jean. And I want to tell you that my time with you started at Kingsbury High School when you were a campus leader. Did I get it, Poppy? Is it in there? And you were known as a scholar. Whoa. You don't remember this, but I was, the year you were a senior, I was just a little bespeckled 8th grader. And one day I was walking down the hall, and somehow or another I spilled my notebook. And you stopped, and you said, "Here, let me help you. That's a lot to carry." And I was blown away that this cool senior was stopping to help me. But through the years that we have known you, that was very much like you. You always stopped to help. And we are happy to have been your friend for all these years, me since 1965. But I have always admired you. I've admired the family that you've built and the fact that your word is your bond. If you believe it in your faith, then your faith will be demonstrated through your actions. And after all, that's what we're called to do. So, we love you. We're hoping for the very best outcome for you. And
Happy Father's Day to you.
Happy Father's Day. We thank you.
Hey, Tom.
Hey, Tom. It's Ralph and Bev.
Happy Father's Day.
Wanted to drop in and say hello and wish you well and say we are hoping that the best goes for you as you look forward to your treatments. We were sitting here talking just before we turned on the video, and we said, what is the thing you most remember about Tom? Well, for me, I guess you're sort of the modern 21st century Renaissance man. I don't know that there's anything you don't do well, is there? Maybe play football, because I've never seen you play football. But baseball, I know you love. You take photographs, you lead music, you write, you have a wonderful profession as a lawyer. You're a super people person. You're a super thing person. You're a super dad. So I don't know that you aren't trying to give Michelangelo a run for his money. So what do you remember most about Tom? Do you have a...
I think as I thought about what I wanted to say today, it was you were probably one of the most authentic persons that I've ever known. just by being yourself. You're always who you are. And it comes through as genuine all the time. And there's all kinds of things you've done and given to people and given to the world and everything. But I think the example of just being who you are, being the best that you can be, is one of the most precious things that you have given the people who know you and love you.
And part of that has been the net that you cast and weave and draw everybody in by your emails and your projects that you do and the photos that you share and the things that you're involved with. You get everyone you get everyone else invested in it as well. I most remember thinking, I'm going to go over and watch the solar eclipse, and who might want to go with me? And then out of the blue, I get this phone call and an email saying, what am I doing with the solar eclipse, since you knew I was involved in astronomy? And I thought it was so funny. Here I didn't think that you were a star man, but lo and behold, here you were interested in the solar eclipse. Just like most things in the world, you're interested in and keep up with that. So I remember most that visit that you came over and we all piled into the car and we dragged ourselves over to the winery and sat and watched the solar eclipse. Absolutely beautiful. And then we kind of got lost on the way back, and I remember you were sitting in the front seat very quietly, just, okay, we're lost, but we're just going to let him find his way. And sure enough, I found my way to the right spot, and I got ourselves out of there. But you didn't seem to worry about it. You knew that it was all going to work out. So that was a great, memorable trip for me. So as we send this message, this video message, we do want to say that we hope that your treatment and everything goes well. Who knows how it's going to turn out and where it's going to lead and what are the twists and turns. But we know that you will do it with grace, and we'll do it with love, and we'll do it and carry us all along so that we can share with you right till the end. So with that, I just have a saying that I'd like to leave with you, and it's a Serbian saying. It says, be happy, for we're all made of earth, but be joyous, because we're all made of the stars. So you truly are a star in more than one way, Tom. So happy Father's Day, and we wish you well, and we'll be in contact again.
And you're always in my thoughts, always. And miracles do happen.
Absolutely.
Hey,
Love
Tom,
you.
It is perfect to be honoring you on Father's Day, for it was all those years that I saw you be such a great dad, engaged and tender and committed and caring and all those beautiful things that we want for a good dad. And so it is a great joy to be able to honor you on this day. But you're also in all those beautiful things with the church, engaged and tender and connected and caring. And it was you who helped to bring us together as a body of Christ. It was you who kept our spirits alive in so many ways. And I have to say that not everybody knows this, but even in all those deacons meetings that we sat through, you had one wicked sense of humor. And it gave us all the ability to take ourselves lightly, as well as to know what really matters. So thank you, Tom. We love you, we appreciate you, and we honor you on this day. Peace to you from Nancy.
Happy Father's Day, Tom. What a wonderful friend you are, and what a treat it is for me to have this opportunity to tell you how much I have appreciated your willingness to take me to a Redbirds game. Once with my family and once with Anna, and it was fun. So thank you. It's not the kind of thing I do very often, but you motivated me to do something different. And I'm not going to hold it against you. No, I am not. That a baseball came and hit me in the ear right here, and I still remember the pain of it very well. But I'm not going to hold that against you. It is a little bit harder for me not to hold against you the fact that you shamed me into giving that ball to a little boy there at the game instead of keeping it when I thought that I had earned it. But then, true to Tom form, you mailed me a baseball, a very special baseball in a glass box, which is on a special place in our house. So, Tom, there will never be another like you. When God put you together, God put together smarts, humor, goodness, and just a decent human being in the best way. So I hope you have a wonderful Father's Day. You certainly have raised two terrific daughters, and it's no surprise that you have sons-in-law who love you and granddaughters who think you are the cat's meow. So enjoy the day, enjoy the love, and take good care of yourself.
Hi, Tom. This is Jody. And I just hate that cancer. Just hate it. As I'm sure you do too. I just hope that chemotherapy hits a home run with the bases loaded for you, so that cancer is just knocked back to nothing. I just think of all the hours we spent together in choir rooms, as well as in church, making music together. Think of all the beautiful anthems that the choir did. Think of all the cards that you've sent me over the years. Thank you so much for all of them. It's so nice to be remembered by your friends. Take good care of yourself. I know that Meredith and Courtney are going to make you do that. I love you.
Hi, Tom. Marlene and I want to wish you a very good Father's Day and want you to know that you are in our prayers and thoughts. As I was thinking about our practice time together, I realized that you have and I have practiced together, at least from my career standpoint. You're the lawyer I've practiced the longest time with. And I was thinking back to our early time at Cantor Russell and Turner. And I remember that shortly after you joined the firm, Marlene and I were at a party at a friend's house, and a lady named Mrs. Cohn was there, who was the mother of the person throwing the party, and your name came up. And she said, Tom Walsh was the best student I ever had, one of the nicest people and students I ever had, and clearly the most outstanding writer that I knew. And I went to the office the next day and I told you about Miss Cohn, and you just couldn't say nicer things about her in your typical modest way, wouldn't really admit that what she said was true. All I can tell you is that in our time together, everything Miss Cohn said was absolutely true. You're a great guy, an incredible writer, pulled my derriere out of the fire lots of times. And I look forward to an opportunity to chat with you directly. And we want you, hopefully, to have a wonderful day and being around either through in person or through some video capability with your grandkids. and we wish you all the best in these difficult times. God bless you.
Hello, all. This is Kathleen, and I am Kyle Tingley's mother. And I had the pleasure of meeting Tom for the first time at Salt Lake City Airport. We had never met before, and then we drove for about, seemed like 5 hours, down to where Kyle and Meredith were going to have their marriage ceremony. We had quite the adventure, and Tom and I hung out together, and like we took the slow boat while the kids were all in the one that went through the rapids, and so it was good, and we had a wonderful time, and sharing that time with all of the family was such a wonderful bonding and fun, absolutely fun thing to do. And all the pictures and the memories are just fantastic. So my message to everyone is that Tom is fantastic. He is well loved, admired, and I know we all wish you well, and we're all praying, and we love you. Okay, thanks.
Thomas J. Walsh Jr., superhero to so many, known for wandering the streets at all hours of both day and night, making the world a better place, planning activities for youth, ball games, movies, trips to the zoo, the Children's Museum, kayaking at Shelby Farms, planning activities for adults, ball games, movies, plays, kayaking at Shelby Farms, lunches, dinners. The list can go on and on. You're also our resident photographer. Tom, you and I have shared life's ups and downs for almost 50 years, so you know how much you mean to me. I am so lucky to have a special friend like you all these years. Wishing you peace, blessings, and much love.
Mr. Tom, thanks for scheduling all those Redbirds games for the entire church to have fun at. I like the awesome prizes at the game. You always made it fun for us.
Thank you for that one night where my mom had to go to the hospital because her friend was in the hospital and we didn't have anybody else's house to stay at. And you came and picked us up and took us to your house and we spent the night. And you were just there when nobody else was available. And you helped us out and made us feel welcome and just made us feel better.
My favorite memory of you is when me and you went kayaking. Well, really canoeing, kind of. Yeah. Either way, I like this memory of us because it was really one of the only things we did by ourselves, and I don't know. I just really cherish that memory of us.
Sometimes my day is happy, sometimes I'm feeling sad. But when I feel that God is real, it makes me glad. God is love, God is love. I know it's true, He loves me.
I still remember every word of the song, and it's just one of the many things you've taught me, Tom, and we hope you have a great Father's Day.
We miss you and we're praying for you. We love you, Tom.
Love you.
Okay. Hi, Brother Tom. We got out our Redbird shirts just to honor you. Baseball is just one of the things that you have helped to make memorable for us. There was the New Year's Eve parties, the deacons' meetings, the choir rehearsals, our daughter's weddings have all been made better and more memorable because of you. Thank you for the hundreds of photographs you've taken to help us remember those special times. And thank you for your loving care for us.
Tom, it's been nearly 40 years that we formed a large family of, at the time, I guess it was 7. It expanded to 9 and then back to 8. You and Jean, it's difficult to talk about just one of you without talking about both of you and our life experience. Our family's life has been utterly changed and enriched by the Walsh family's participation in it. We've co-raised our daughters to some extent. You've raised 2 of the finest young women that we know, and then they brought you a couple of the finest sons that a man could ask for. and have blessed you with children that are exceptional and remarkable. And we attribute a lot of those gifts to you and Jean. We have so many memories that calling out a few is impossible. I remember distinctly when Jean showed up at the emergency room at Baptist Hospital the morning that Justin stopped breathing, and then took me and Ann down to Le Bonheur, to where we met a crowd of church people of unfathomable proportions there because one of us was suffering. And I remember the night that we dropped Kristen off at your house early in the morning on the way to have Sean down at Methodist. You and Jean have been there for us and with us through many things. You and I formed the roots for one of the most powerful Pictionary teams that ever existed. Our wives didn't stand a chance when they went up against their brilliant husbands in Pictionary. You are the backbone of the Trivial Pursuit games that we've gone to, and everybody in our house wants to be on Tom's team, whenever that may be. Now to watch you again with the baby in your arms, and knowing that you will for some time bring tenderness, love, and kindness, a Mr. Rogers approach to a child that is just unmatchable in our experience. Thank you for all that you are and have been and will be. We love you and we wish you well.
Hey Tom, Michael here. Just wanted to wish you a happy Father's Day. I hope you're having the best Father's Day you've ever had. I know this is a very, very special day for you, and I just wanted to send my love and regards to you. And I was thinking about a lot of our great memories together, and especially the one at AutoZone Park. It was the only time I've ever been to AutoZone Park still, but I had a great memory. It's one of my favorite stadiums. But we did something I've always was trying to do in my life, become a color commentator. Something that hasn't entirely worked out, but hey, I got to live my dream for a little bit, and it couldn't have happened without you. I remember still walking up the stairs, going to the booth, being a little bit nervous, but I knew I was safe in your hands as the head commentator, and I could put my little snippets here and there, call a single through the 5.5 hole, whatever it may be. But I always remember that for the rest of my life, and I just want to let you know it was a privilege just to see you and Papa together last summer. It was awesome. I had a great time. It's like being in baseball heaven. You've always been one of the biggest baseball historians in my life, just learning the game, how it's evolved over the years, all the great players, not just on the Cardinals side, but just baseball in general, and I'll always remember that. And, I'm sharing a little bit of Nationals love with you. I know you're a Cardinals guy, but, gotta spread the love. You guys have beaten us up too many times. We only gotten you once last year, but hey, you'll get us again 30 times in a row from here on out, so I gotta enjoy it a little bit, But hey, just wanted to wish you a happy Father's Day again. You're a great man, someone I've looked up to all the time. I keep all your birthday postcards. They're the best. Thank you so much. That's something that means a lot to me. And hope you're doing well. Wishing you all the best. Can't wait to see you again. And much love, Michael.
Hey, Uncle Tom, I just want to say thank you so much for all the birthday wishes, cards, family emails. I've always enjoyed reading your writing and learning more history about our family. And it's been fun battling out between the Nationals and Cardinals over the years. And while the Cardinals always had the upper hand, we finally won one for once in our history. But I'm sure the Cardinals will come back soon. And, I'll send you a fun email congratulating you on that time. And I just want to say I'm so happy to share my name, Thomas, with you and your legacy, and just continue your passionate and positivity over the years. And I'll be thinking about you every time I just make a nice friendly gesture or someone, because I always think about you and your happiness. So I just want to say thank you and I love you.
Hey Uncle Tom, it's Hannah Grace.
And Matthew. And we hope that you're having a wonderful Father's Day with your family.
We've been thinking about you daily, and I don't think there is a year that's gone by that you have not made sure everyone has gotten a birthday card, and you've always made everyone's day feel special.
We just want to let you know that we're here for you, and anything you need, you got it.
We love you.
Hey Tom, it's Clint here. Just wanted to drop in and wish you a happy Father's Day. Let you know that I'm thinking about you and praying for you every day. I had a lot of good memories over the years. I remember us going to Disney World many years ago. Obviously, countless number of Chicks games and Redbirds games over the years as well. Even last year, had a wonderful time touring Washington, D.C. with you and my mom. You being our wonderful tour guide there, had a great time. I guess my fondest memory would be, I think I was in the 5th grade and my class was studying the Soviet Union, and you had actually just returned from there on a mission trip, and you came and spoke to our class. It was really awesome, and I think I was the coolest kid in class, at least for that one day anyway, so I always remember that. Just once again, want to tell you to have a great Father's Day. Wish we could go to a baseball game or play some trivia, but obviously everything's canceled right now, so we can't do that. But maybe in the near future we can. Have a great day. I love you.
Hi, Tom. We love you so much for being such a caring uncle to our family. We thank you for all of the baseball memories, birthday cards, but most of all for your kindness.
We love you.
Hi, Tom. This is, you're our favorite uncle. This is your favorite nephew, oldest nephew. And we just want to tell you, we're thinking about you. You're much loved and admired. I have for my whole life, and you know me forever. And when I think of you, I think of your faith, your love, your compassion, civility, your humor is legendary. And of course, the birthday postcards are legendary among the family, and who knows who else. And your love of baseball. I have a Memphis Redbird shirt on. I think of you and Jean every time I wear it. And anyway, it's just great. So we just want to let you know that we love you and we're thinking of you and sending all our prayers to you. And your faith is another thing I think about you when I think of you. Anyway, and we have a joke for you. And Riley Savannah's sitting right here, and of course Amy's right there too. And I think Riley, you want to say hi, and then
hi.
The joke? Yeah. What's the joke?
Knock knock.
Who's there?
Interrupting cow.
Interrupting cow.
Moo.
Oh man.
Sorry.
No, that's all
I
right.
didn't do it.
Anyway, we love you, Tom. Happy Father's Day.
Father's
and
Day.
Love you. We're sending our prayers. Love you.
Hi, Tom. It's your niece, Susan Walsh Pollock. Gosh, my earliest memory of you, of course, is visiting Memphis and you reading books to Kevin and I, the twins. I just have a lifetime of memories with you. You've been such a great role model and mentor, and you're all about family, friends, and your faith, of course. I just want to tell you how much I love you, and thank you for always being there for my kids and bringing the family together all the time. I really appreciate our late night communications on email because we're both night owls. I'm looking forward to seeing you again soon, and I just love you so much. Happy Father's Day.
Hi Papa, it's Becca. I'm so incredibly grateful that I've gotten to grow up having you as my grandfather. Seeing you put everybody else before yourself and doing what's right and good, you've been a fantastic role model for me, and I couldn't be more grateful to have you in my life. I think one of my favorite memories is growing up and just having all of the bedtime stories that you would make up, telling us about Disney cruises and Santa and everything. It's just, those are memories that I like to hold on to, and I'm grateful that I had you to give me those. Hi, Papa. I love you so, so much. And there are too many amazing memories that I have from when I've been with you, because I've known you my entire life. So there are so many ways that you've impacted my life as well, but I'm just going to limit it down to a couple. You have made me a caring and loyal and well-rounded person. I wouldn't be who I am if I didn't have you. I couldn't ask for a better grandfather, a role model, anyone who has been special in my life. You are amazing and loving and positive, and I love you so much. I can't put into words how much I care about you and how much I love you. So I'm just gonna end it there. I love you. and I hope that you are feeling better.
Those are really big questions to answer. Okay, so I know that one of my favorite memories of, the many, many, many memories that we've shared are the scavenger hunts that Papa used to make us. He would write these little notes, and sometimes they would be challenging, sometimes they'd be pretty easy. He used to say that he would do that to give us some hope, but he would then hide them all around the house, and then there would be a prize at the end, and that was always one of my favorite things whenever we went to go visit. I think one of the best things about having Papa in my life thus far has been just how much he's encouraged me. Not a lot of people are so lucky to have family that encourages you to follow your passion in the arts and to really do what you love rather than something that might be a little more financially stable. But he's always been very open about how proud he is of us and how inspired he is by us. And it's mutual. I'm inspired by him every day. He tells us stories of growing up and living through the 60s and the 70s and the 80s and all the things that were happening politically and how they translate now and what that looks like for us. And yeah, no, he's always been one of the most loving and supportive and kind people I have in my life. So thank you for that, Papa, and I love you.
Okay. Okay. I love you, Tom, and you know my heart. Despite that, you love me back. I have loved you since the day you were brought home from the hospital. Our father carrying you in his arms. And I was just so proud and happy and excited to have a baby brother. And every day since that day in October 1947, my love and my pride in and for you has only deepened. You have had a stellar law career, more than once voted by your peers to be on the annual list published by Memphis Magazine for the outstanding attorneys in Memphis. You have been honored by the Shelby County Bar Association for your pro bono work. And you have had 3 briefs used in argument before the United States Supreme Court. And these are only a few things that I know about, because you don't talk about your law career. I think, Tom, that you take your greatest joy in other people's joy. The cards that you send out, those of us who receive them, well, we feel remembered, and we feel like we have a friend in you. That camera that's ever present, you do take pictures of family, but you often, more often, take pictures of other people's events and then make prints to give them. You work in the church community, and it's a labor of love. Your choir and your teaching and your organizing and your constant advocacy for social justice. When you were a student at Yale University, you were writing letters home to the commercial appeal editors decrying the Vietnam War. And in the intervening years, you have written many more when you felt moved to opine on education and race relations and other wider community issues. You have 2 beautiful daughters who are following in your footsteps, 4 beautiful granddaughters who are benefiting from your legacy. There is a well-known quote by William Wordsworth He said, "The best portion of a good man's life are his little, nameless, unremembered acts of kindness and love." And that is true. But Tom, for me personally, you have stepped into my life many times when I had a great need, and I did not have to call you, and I do remember. In 1972, Jerry Sr. had a motorcycle accident, off 2 years recovering from his injuries. We were parents to 3 boys, ages 6, 4, and 2 weeks old. We were living on aid-dependent children and food stamps. You must have called the Social Security office because you gathered the required information, made an appointment, and took me there to apply for disability. I didn't know we were even eligible for that benefit. Because of the disability checks, we no longer needed welfare, and more importantly, Tom, you helped Jerry and I save our house from foreclosure. And many years later, you stepped in to do the very same thing. In 1993, when Jerry Sr. suffered a stroke. Now this time I was working, but we had lost half our family income and 2 children were still in college. Twice more you stepped in when I had to say a public final goodbye to Jerry Jr. in 94 and Jerry Sr. in 98. And this time you went to your church community, and because they love you, they gathered around me to offer me comfort, compassion, and help. And I'm going to mention one more thing, and I could go on. It was 5 years. It was a year after Jerry Sr. passed away in 98, and 5 years after he had left the hospital after 2 months of physical therapy. I received a large bill from that hospital, having heard nothing in the intervening years. It surprised me, and I could not read the medical code. So this time I did call you, and you elicited help from a lawyer friend who could read medical code, and persuaded him, out of respect for you, to do work for me pro bono. It turns out the bill represented the difference between a semi-private room and a private room. However, the hospital was charging twice the private room rate in comparison to other area hospitals. We settled out of court for half the amount and a reasonable payment plan. Tom, you are described perfectly by Mother Teresa. She said, "We can do no great things, only small things with great love. Happy are those who do." And you are the happiest, most peaceful, serene person I have ever known. I go back to where I began. I have trusted you with my heart, and you have always taken tender, loving care of it. And my life has been enriched beyond measure. I do love you, Tom, with all my heart.
Hi, Tom. Mary and I want to wish you a most happy Father's Day.
I'm so excited for you to celebrate your first Father's Day with 6 girls, with the addition of little Miss Moxie Jean celebrating you this Father's Day, as well as your 2 wonderful son-in-laws. Have a wonderful celebration. I love you.
I think it's great we can celebrate and share this day with you, Tom. And I thought we would take advantage of this to take a little walk down memory lane. Now, between the 3 of us, you and Barbara and I, we have over 72 years of memories. So I'll be here a long time going over all of them. So we'll limit it to just a few highlights. I'll start with I'm sitting on a chest. I know you can't see it, but this is the family chest that was by the telephone in the Bradbury Cove house. And you and Barbara and I spent many hours talking to our friends sitting on this very chest. the I think next well, let me mention Barbara first because and I and you. So Barbara and I have known you more than anyone else on this earth. We were there welcoming you in the apartment on Cleveland Street as Dad and Mom and you came home, and we were so excited to see our little baby brother finally with us, and we also were the first ones to give you hugs, of course, after our mother and Dad. And we have had the following 72 years with you, and they've been great times, some ups and downs, but overall a great, just a great experience of all three of us together. I think I'll start our memory trail at Bradbury Cove. We moved into that house in the early summer of 1951. It was what I call, we were living the post-World War II American dream. It was a great time to grow up in America. I'm sure you recall our football games in the front yard. I was 12, you were almost 4, so to compensate for the size differential, I played on my knees. You took full advantage of that and eventually learned this little shake and bake move where you got around me. Once that happened, I don't think I won any more games. Spent a lot of time rolling down the hill in those games in the front yard, and at one of those incidents, one of those times you hit me in a sensitive area. So thank goodness I did recover from that. Other fond memories from that period, you and I shared a room together for 6 years. That was really a hoot. Loved every minute of it. And in fact, when it came time to go to college, I realized I was going to really miss you. And a final experience I'll relate to involves around popcorn. We had popcorn frequently when we were watching TV as a family, and you loved popcorn then, you love it now, but I also like popcorn. So you like to cuddle that popcorn bowl close to you, and I made sure that I would always sit next to you so I could actually get some of that popcorn. You probably never realized that at the time, but it was I did get the popcorn that way. When I went off to college, Mother and Dad sent me letters from home, keeping me current with your activities, and I was so proud of you remotely. We were still doing bonding remotely. You had been very active in spelling bees, had participated in spelling bees at Memphis and at regional bees, and I believe you got very close to coming up to the nationals in Washington, D.C. You also graduated as a valedictorian in your Kingsbury High School class. You were the first trumpet in the band, and all in all had a very admirable and fantastic high school career. And armed with those credentials, you ended up getting a full scholarship to Yale. I was really proud of you for that achievement. I fortunately was given the opportunity to drive you up to Yale to begin your freshman year there. And I was thinking about that recently, and I said, you know, we were two wild and crazy brothers on a college road trip. What's not to like about that? A fantastic time. When it came time for me to leave you at Yale, I was a little nervous about leaving you behind, and I was lingering, and I think you knew it was time for me to go. So you said to me, Bailey, you won't have to tuck me in tonight. So I knew then it was time to go. Moving on, 4 years later, you were graduating from Yale, and Mom and Mother and Dad and I came up and had a wonderful time. It was a tremendous amount of fun watching you graduate, and we were just as happy as we could be. So I was so pleased I could be there for that event as well. And then you came back home, and I want to tell a story that I don't think a lot of people know. You ended up teaching 3 years at Booker T. Washington High School, and inner city segregated school that didn't have many resources, and the kids were all, I'm sure, hurting. And you really helped those kids immensely. You got them some tools, including such basic things as books, so they could succeed. I'm sure you affected the rest of their lives in a positive way, and many of them probably still think of you today, even. So I was really proud of you then. It was really one of your early social justice initiatives, and you did well. in that same time frame, you and your beautiful bride Jean were married. I was honored to be the best man at that wedding. Then you were off to UVA Law School and ended up, of course, graduating and having a very distinguished law career. I now want to shift to something that's very close to both of our hearts, and that's baseball. For us, it's been the ties that bind. We have talked over the years, we've talked hours and hours about baseball, telling stories, relating experiences. We've emailed baseball stories. It's been wonderful having that time and experience with you. And I want to tell you a story about that you've heard a little bit about it, but I'm going to give you not in this context. In the 1947 World Series, the Dodgers beat the Yankees in Game 6 with a walk-off double by a utility player named Cookie Lavagetto. So I didn't know a whole lot about baseball at that time. I'm sure the name Cookie really got my attention. It was very exciting. So I had watched the last two innings when I came home from school. After Cookie had the winning hit, I ran into the kitchen. Mother was there and very pregnant with you. And I ran around Mother in the kitchen saying, Cookie did it, Cookie did it. And so Mother didn't know what I was talking about really. But I wonder if you didn't hear all that commotion in the womb, hear about baseball, and thought maybe, hey, this might be a pretty interesting game. So I'm putting it out there that maybe you and I that day got excited about baseball and began our baseball history, if you will, that day together. You in the womb, me outside. Food for thought. Think about it. Anyway, moving on from that, in more recent times, we've shared some baseball experiences together. You invited me to attend the 2003 All-Star International League All-Star game at AutoZone Park. I've got this hat on to sort of prove that I was there, and also as a precious memento for me. I wear this hat all the time. The folks at AutoZone Park put on a good show. The players did. It was a grand evening. Later, you invited me to join you in the broadcast booth at AutoZone Park to broadcast a game together. Now, this was a fan experience, so there was a real game being played on the field. We could see that, but the only people that could hear our broadcast were Tom and I. But nonetheless, we had a great time, great experience. We didn't do much play-by-play, mostly told stories, but I'll always remember that. It was something you and I had always wanted to do together, and I was so happy to be able to do that. Now, and so that's I guess that's the sum. And well, here's one other thing. I almost forgot this. Tom gave me this replica of Rustwood Park. You can see it there. It's very well done, and it's one of my most prized possessions. It's a precious gift, Tom. I cherish it. Both of Tom and I have Rustwood Park memories. We both attended our first games at Rustwood Park, not together, but separately. But the whole Memphis baseball experience and the Chicks and the Redbirds and Rustwood Park and AutoZone Park tie us together. The other thing I want to touch on, Tom, you've been a photographer par excellence for not just the family, but friends. Your pictures are fantastic. I'm most grateful for what you've done for our family. You've taken pictures at a number of our weddings, and many of them have been better than the professional pictures. So my hat's off to you, and thank you for all your generosity and the time you spent doing that. Same with cards. You have sent out thousands of cards to I don't know how many people, but everybody who receives your cards loves them, and you'll be long remembered for these cards. In my family, we always anxiously await the arrival of the Tom cards, and we're just very grateful. It was a great thing you did there. The most recent family bonding experience we had, you again orchestrated, planned, set it up, and that was a family history video that we filmed and recorded in Memphis. I called it nostalgia on steroids. We just, with the video and the field trips, we just had a wonderful time, brought back so many memories for you and Barbara and I. it leaves a legacy for our children, our grandchildren, and beyond of what the history was like with not just us, but our parents and our grandparents. So I thank you so much for doing that. That was a special time, special bonding time for you, Barbara, and I. We'll never forget that. I now want to get a little more personal and say to you, Tom, that you have often in my life said how much you look up to me as your big brother. I'm here today to tell you that, in point of fact, Tom, I've looked up to you as my little brother for most of my adult life. You have such a kind, caring, loving heart. You're the best person I've ever known, actually, and the best Christian I've ever known. I'm in awe, really, of all you have accomplished in your life. You have, by how you have lived your life daily as a committed Christian, you have shown us how to live our lives, that you lived it as Christ commands us to. You walk the walk. You've set a great example for all of us. And I wanted to share that with you. You have touched and helped so many people. In the course of that, you've been selfless in giving of yourself to others. I know that all those people who felt and received your love were improved. Their life was definitely improved by what you did for them. I've said many times to anybody who will listen to me that the world would be a better place if there were more Toms in it, and I've sincerely meant that. You have just left your mark on the world in a very, very positive, loving way. For me, you've also given me your unconditional love always. I feel so blessed to have that love and to spend these 72 years with you, my sweet dear brother. You have been a true blessing for me. May God bless you and your family. May God touch you with his healing love. May God hold you in the palm of his hand. I love you so very, very much, Tom. Always have and always will. You will be in my prayers and my hearts forever. Godspeed, Tom.
Hey, Dad. Here we are at the sunset on the Mississippi. Wanting to share some words with you as we near to Father's Day, which is Kyle's first Father's Day. That's right. And hopefully not your last Father's Day. We will treat every day like Father's Day with the time we have remaining with you, because you are such an amazing father to all of us, not just to me, not just to Courtney, just you're a father to everyone, and you are just such a great and loving person that has shared all of your gifts with everyone that you meet, and you've just been an incredible role model for me and for Courtney, and for everybody that you've met along the way. So it's the bottom of the ninth, and
that's right.
The bases are loaded,
and the score doesn't look so good right now, but you got the heart of the lineup, and there's no outs, and the hometown crowd is on their feet cheering along.
You've got the home field advantage, and the bench is deep, so odds are in your favor that this is going to go into extra innings.
That's right.
We love you.
All right, love you.
Hey, Dad. It's Courtney, your favorite daughter. Actually, Meredith and I totally won the dad lottery when we got picked to be in our family. I have so many memories of our family, so many good things associated with you and Mom. One of my earliest memories is doing Supergirl, where I would lay belly down on your outstretched arms and you would spin and spin all while singing the Superman theme song. That's one of my kids' earliest memories of you too, because you did that as their papa as well. Now we're all a little big for that, but it's still perfectly etched in my mind, that sensation. So many memories. Baseball and church and road trips and free time just to climb trees and fly kites and play in the sprinkler and and throw the frisbee, learn about current events and write letters to politicians and go to protest marches. Books, you would recommend books for me to read and I would recommend books for you to read, and we still do that. You practice Model UN with me in high school, and help with anything that I needed to write. So there's so many. I can't even go there because there's so much. And we made memories even last week. So we have more memories to make all the time. I know that what's coming next is not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy for you. It's not going to be easy for us. But I want you to know that it is my honor to be there for you in any way that you need me, the same way that you have been there in so many ways that I've needed you over the years. You're the best. I love you.
Hey, Tom. Well, since I got to edit this montage, I think it's fair that I should give myself the last word. And normally, we would do a quote from The Godfather or something like that, since that's our favorite movie, but I think instead I'll pick a quote from It's a Wonderful Life, and I'll paraphrase and say, "Dear Tom, remember that no man is a failure who has friends." You're a lucky man to be surrounded by so many people who love you and who have learned from you and who've been inspired by you. It really is a great cloud of witnesses. You're a blessed man to have been given 2 brilliant daughters and 4 ferocious granddaughters and 2 very attractive sons-in-law. I'll be honest, it's difficult to come up with one story or one memory when someone has been such a big part of your life for 30 years. So instead, what I thought I would do is celebrate Tom Walsh, the composer. And so to do that, I got a bunch of my friends up here, Uncle Drew and the Scoundrels, and a few others to help me do that. And I hope you don't mind. I did a new arrangement of a song that you wrote back in 1983. Hope you like it. And one more quote from It's a Wonderful Life. Thanks for the wings. Love all of us.
The Lord's house stands through human hands, inspired by thoughts above. A place for all to worship Him, the carpenter of love. God calls us to serve Him in work and prayer and praise, an open fellowship of love for all our days. Christ Jesus, bless the poor, oppressed, free, captive, sick and blind, in prisons and in city streets, there we our Lord will find. God calls us to serve Him, as sisters, brothers all, where'er His blessed children cry, we hear His call. and shall be evermore.
Oh, wonder, joy, surprise, whole new world. Oh my goodness, what is all this excitement?
Good morning and happy Father's Day, Tom. What a wonderful day it is. First of all, I want to thank you for sharing information about your health challenges. I know that this is a very difficult time for you, but it's a time for reflecting and also, in a lot of ways, a time of rejoicing. I suppose one of the things that you can rejoice about is having a supportive family and friends to offer you this wonderful Father's Day tribute. The minute we received your message, we began praying, and by we, I mean Jabosi and myself. We began praying and have not stopped lifting you and your family up in prayer. Frankly, in the past few months, we've had lots of opportunities to lift you up in prayer and to give thanks to God for your presence in our lives. With all that is going on in America and in the world, I've really asked myself many times over the past few months, without the support of my Prescott family, including you and your beloved Jean, where would I be today? I came to Memphis back in the late 70s to face a force that I was familiar with, but I really did not understand its impact and negative impact at that, because I lived in a segregated community in Atlanta. But I came here for graduate school, working on my doctorate at the University of Memphis. I found myself in some waters that were turbulent and life-threatening. I would have drowned physically, emotionally, and spiritually had it not been for people like you and other members of my Prescott family. God placed me in your hands with a watchful eye over my life, just as he has for you right now. You're in his eyes and you're in his hands. Where it's going to lead you, we don't know. But what we do know, and you've already said, is that you have 72 years of healthy life. You also have a wonderful, supportive family surrounding you. You've enjoyed the benefits of being a grandparent. You've enjoyed being in a supportive spiritual family. And so, you've been blessed, and the blessings will continue. Simply stated, Tom, you're in God's hands, and to God be the glory for the things that he has done and the things that you have done to bring peace and justice to our world and specifically to our community. We pray that your impact will continue to touch others and that we will enjoy a better life together because of some of the work that you have done. You left us lots of pictures. You left us lots of writings. All we need to do is just go and pull them up. You've given that to us. And so we say thank you. And we hope that you will enjoy this Father's Day in 2020. Thank you.